Good evening, everyone, and welcome to OET Listening Prowess. This is me, 𝐻𝐿𝐬𝐿 𝐿𝐬𝐿, joining you from this academy. Yes, we've come with yet another OET Listening Live to help you with your listening. So, by this time, I'm sure you're all familiar with what we do and how we do things. Yes, we do one extract on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So each extract will be done and then we'll be discussing the answers with the help of audio script. And I've mentioned why we're discussing things with the help of audio script because that gives you a better idea about the complete audio, okay? That helps you understand what each and every word is, and even the words that you did not understand but that is not related to the answers, okay? For example, imagine you were listening to three sentences, all right? The answer is in the third sentence. So you understood the third sentence very well and you wrote the answer and you got the correct answer. But you had no idea about what second sentence was, and if they had asked you a question on the second question, you wouldn't have been able to answer. If that is the case, discussing with the help of audio script helps you to have complete idea about it, because we even get to know what the words are and what made it difficult for us to understand, and next time when such a sentence comes in a different question, things would be much easier for us. Okay, so in the previous live, what we did was part C extract 2. That was the last extract of, that was the last part of the whole test. So now from today onwards, we'll be starting off with a new test. And in this test today, we'll be doing part A extract 1. Okay, part A extract 1. And at first, these questions will be displayed on the screen and the audio will be played, so you will be writing down the answers, and after that I'll give you some time to copy down the questions. Why am I giving you some time to copy down the questions? Because that will help you to have a look at the questions while we're discussing the answers, because when we're discussing the answers, it will be really difficult for you if you don't have the questions with you. So if you have those questions handy, it would be easier for you to just have a look at it and understand things better. Or if you have another device with you, you can take a screenshot of these questions on that device. All right, and so part A, extract 1. Yes, Monica Vegas, good evening. I remember seeing you in another live, and so happy to see you here, Monica. I hope you're doing good. And yeah, I didn't actually ask you guys how you all doing. I hope everyone's doing good. I'm doing fantastic. All right, so we were talking about part A. In part A, what do? You have 30 seconds to read questions 1 to 12, extract 1. During the time, we read the questions very carefully. We underline the keywords. Keywords are the nouns, adjectives, verbs, things like that that convey the meaning of the whole sentence. If you look at the keyword, you don't have to read the whole sentence because that gives you an idea about what that whole sentence is all about. And that would be the main word you will see in the audio as well. Not the same word, maybe a synonym of that will be seen in the audio. All right, yes, so that's the first step. Another thing that you can do is anticipation. What do you anticipate? You anticipate the signs and symptoms, investigations, medical management, general instructions. Depending on the headings given, maybe investigation, that might be the heading. Depending on that, you have to anticipate what the answer would be. All right, depending. So even if you hear something, for example, the heading is given as investigation, and in the audio you heard a word which is a sign. So you heard that word is a sign. Signs and symptoms, that sign. So when you write it, you have to always remember the heading is investigation. So there is no way this sign, the signs and symptoms, this sign be the answer. So I should think about an investigation that sounds like this, and you have to make the change and write. This is done not during or not while the audio is being played. These kind of changes are done at the end, after part A, part B, part C, when you're given 2 minutes to check your work. During that time you're doing this. So when that 2 minutes is given, you're using most of that 2 minutes to actually check your answers of part A. You're checking the answers of part A because that's where you are to make a lot of mistakes. So mistakes like subject verb agreement, if you're making any mistakes, you can correct it. So OAT is actually saying if you make minor mistakes that does not affect the meaning, then you will get marks. But I would say don't take any risk. During that 2 minutes time, try to correct it as much as possible. If you're making a subject verb agreement, make that correction. Singular plural, that is very important. Okay, if that sentence requires you to write a singular answer, then you have to write a singular answer, especially the sentence demands you to write it. If the sentence demands a plural answer, then you have to write, and you must write a plural answer. So that's how it has to be. Then name of some procedures, maybe you haven't heard that name before, or you don't know that. If that is the case, what you do is you write according to what you hear. You take a risk and write it. Okay, that's what you can do. And this audio, yes, Jyoti, good evening. 𝐎𝐿𝐬𝐿, yes, good evening. Abhirajan, yes, hi Abhirajan. I remember seeing you in other lives, and yes, obviously, 𝐎𝐿𝐬𝐿 too, I've seen you in previous lives. Yes, yes, Jyoti, nice to see you here. I hope you're all doing good. All right, so these are the things that you have to be careful about your part A, 12 questions, okay? And when it comes to numbers, just write the number, listen to the numbers properly and write it. And if you don't know the answer, just guess it. So we were talking about what this test is all about. This part A is all about. In this part A, the audio is a bit fast. Okay, it is a bit fast, so you have to listen to it carefully and you have to write the answers really quick. So if the audio is really quick, if the audio is really fast, what you can do is, so by the time you're writing the first question's answer, they must have moved on to the part of second question. So what will you do? What you can do is, you can use shorthand, like short forms, something like that. For example, for with, you can write W. Some shorthand writings can be done. So that at the end, but you should write that short forms in such a way that you will be able to understand it at the end of the test, and you will be able to write it in full. Write the full word. If you write that short form, you won't get marks. Yes, you'll get marks for things like USD, HB, things like that. You will get marks like the accepted short forms. But the short forms I'm talking about is, for example, for with, you can write W. But when you it's not that will be accepted, that short form will not be accepted, that abbreviation will not be accepted. What you can do is, after doing it, when the 2 minutes time is given to you, during that time you can rewrite it. You can rub that W, or you can write RITE right after it. So RITH right after it, and make it the full word. So that way, while you're listening to the audio, you're saving time and you're able to focus on every question, and you're able to get the answers of every question. And at the end, you're able to make the correction, so you have perfect answers. So that is one thing you can do if you are really bad at writing things fast. Okay, if you are very slow, this is one thing that you can do. And of course, you have to work with your speed. You have to learn to write things really fast. So you write the answers, and here in this thing, what you can see is the space is very less. So in this audio, in the question paper, you can see that space is very less. You don't have much space there. For the real exam, you will have enough space to write the answer. But if you don't have it, you can put the number on the side and write the answer. So you will have time, but if in case it's not enough for you, that's something which you can do. Yes, so we have a few more people here. Anisha Raya-Rose, good evening. Vijisha Krishnan, hi. Anu Victor, good evening. I'm so happy to see you all here, and we have an interesting material today. It's not very difficult. The words are actually easy, except one, I would say. There is a chance you may make a mistake there, but just listen to the audio carefully. Try to listen to the audio carefully and try to write that word. Okay, so now since you've all joined here, I think without wasting much time, let's start the audio. We'll play the audio and show the questions to you on the screen. Try to write down the answers and wait for the discussion. All right, so now the audio will be played.
Occupational English test has 3 parts, and in each part you will hear a number of different extracts. At the beginning of the test, you will hear a beep sound. You will have time to read the questions before you hear the extracts. You will hear each extract once only. You have to complete your answers as you listen. At the end of each test, you will be given 2 minutes to check your answers. Part A. In this part of the test, you will hear 2 different extracts. In each extract, a healthcare professional is talking to his patient. For questions 1 to 24, complete the notes with the information you hear. Now, look at the notes for extract 1.
You're an optometrist talking to a patient called Aidan Fitzpatrick, who has been experiencing blurred vision.
Hi Aidan, I'm Dr. Solkeld. Could you start by telling me about what's been going on with your vision?
Sure. Well, I guess it must have started a while ago, but I didn't really notice it properly until about 2 weeks ago. I was working in my garden and I noticed that I was having a hard time reading the instructions on the gardening products that I just bought. I normally stick to the one I've been using for years, but I thought it'd be nice to try something different. Anyways, it kind of felt like everything was fuzzy around the edges and I just couldn't see the letters clearly. After talking to my daughter, she mentioned that I've been using increasingly more light to read at night and even pulling things closer to me to read. I hadn't even noticed. So I went out and got some of those glasses they sell at the pharmacy and they helped. But my doctor said that it'd be better if I came to see an eye doctor. Well, they made things less blurred anyway, I guess. My vision's still not crystal clear or anything when I use the glasses, but I wasn't really expecting that. I still notice that I'm squinting to see things. It's mostly when I'm trying to read something close up, like small writing. I'm better when things are at a distance. I don't know if it's related, but I've also noticed a pretty persistent headache. I guess it's kind of at the sides of my head, I suppose. It comes and goes, but it's definitely worse when I'm having trouble seeing something. When it gets really bad, I just take a fast-acting ibuprofen, and that tends to sort it out.
Ever had any vision problems before?
When I was little, at some point in elementary school, I think I had glasses, but I'm sure I broke them, and we just never got round to having them replaced. My brother has glasses that he's been wearing for years. I don't really know a whole lot about what's wrong with his eyes. Maybe he's short-sighted. Oh, but that reminds me. My brother thought I should mention that a couple of months or so ago, I was pretty ill. I was suffering from sinusitis. And anyway, I left it pretty late to go and see the doctor about it. Kind of thought that it would just sort itself out. Anyway, it lingered for a while, so when I told my doctor, he gave me some antibiotics, and it cleared up pretty quickly after that. Well, for the most part, although I still feel like I have a cold. Other than that, I've been in really good health for the last few years. I take my health really seriously. I'm not sure if the doctor told you, but I used to be quite overweight. But I lost it all after a bit of a wake-up call some years back. I had what you guys call a myocardial infarction. It was pretty scary, and I was quite overweight at the time and really stressed out about my job. Since then, I've made a real effort to look after myself properly.
I'm glad to hear it. So, in terms of your blurred vision, what do you think might work for you?
Well, I don't particularly like the idea of wearing glasses all the time, but touching my eyes freaks me out, so contact lenses are definitely not an option. I guess the best thing might be to just have glasses that I wear all the time, so I don't keep forgetting to put them on when I'm out somewhere, not at home. I've actually never had an eye test, so I should probably schedule one of those as the next step.
I think that sounds reasonable. Let's do some tests to check out your eyes and go from there.
Okay, so did you all try? How was it? Was it easy? I told you it was easy. It's not very tough. It's just that the audio was a bit fast. But otherwise, it's manageable. And except I think one word could just give you a bit of confusion. But otherwise, it's just okay. All right, and we have more comments here. Vijisha, Anu Victor, Monica Vegas is giving me an interesting comment. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. And Tina Benish, good evening. Claude and Lewis, good evening. Okay. So I hope you all tried the questions. So now I'll give you some time to copy down these questions. All right. Okay. Anu Victor has typed in the answers. First one, blurred. Third, pharmacy. Fifth, headache. 7, short sight. 8, sinusitis. 11, contact lens. I think she wrote few questions. Let's see if those answers are correct. We will discuss it for sure. So now here they have given you hear a obstetrician talking to a patient called Aiden Fitzpatrick. All right, this is actually supposed to be ophthalmologist, but there is a mistake. It's not obstetrician. So that is a mistake. Sorry for the error. And for questions 1 to 12, complete the notes with the word or short phrase. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes. Okay, patient, Aiden. Just write Aiden. Then symptoms. So there, under the heading symptoms, if you hear an answer that sounds similar to an investigation, you won't write it. You will, okay, at first you will write and you will write, I have to write symptom there. And during the 2 minutes time, you will think and you will write the symptom that sounds similar to that. So Monica Vegas is given an answer. First one, fuzzy. Second one, more light. And Priya Raju is saying good evening. Good evening, Priya. Yes. So has difficulty reading printed. So first question, symptoms. First notice difficulty reading 2 weeks ago. Write that. Yes. So Bhiga Ajit, good evening. Describes his vision as dash. Next, has difficulty reading printed letters. Next bullet point, needs increasingly to blank to read in evenings. Found he was having to hold object closer to see. Next bullet point, purchased glasses from 3 blank. Next, often finds that his dash his eyes even when wearing glasses. Next bullet point, when struggling to see, can also experience dash. Next bullet point, Aiden treats pain with blank fast acting. Background details. Next heading is background details. First bullet point right. Wore glasses as a child. Next, brother also wear glasses. Possibly 7 blank. Next one. Medical history. Recently suffered from 8 blank. Treated with antibiotics. Still experiencing symptoms of 9 blank. Next bullet point. Lost excess weight following a dash. Describes as wake up call in brackets. Now next steps. Isn't willing to wear dash. Must be given dash. Never had one. Alright, I hope you all copied the questions, and I can see you all giving me answers. Monica Vegas is giving me answers. Then Anu Victor is giving me answers. Yes, you can write your answers in the comments, because that way we can discuss those answers actually. So let's look at the first question. First question is about symptoms. All right, symptoms. Describes his vision as dash. Okay, describes vision as dash. So Monica has given me the answer fuzzy, and Anu Victor has given me the answer blurred. Let's see which one is right. So first you have this introduction part. It's important when you practice, you listen to that. But when for the exam, you don't have to, you can even start reading the questions. But if you want, you can listen to that part as well. So occupational English test has 3 parts. In each part, you will hear a number of different extracts. At the beginning of the test, you will hear a beep sound. You will have time to read the questions before you hear the extracts. You will hear each extract once only. You have to complete your answers as you listen. At the end of each test, you will be given 2 minutes to check your answers. Part A. In this part of the test, you will hear 2 different extracts. In each extract, a healthcare professional is talking to his patient. For questions 1 to 24, complete the notes with the information you hear. Now look at the notes for extract 1. You hear an ophthalmologist talking to a patient called Aiden Fitzpatrick, who has been experiencing blurred vision. So the first question is, describes his vision as. So here, Anu Victor has written the answer blurred. Okay, but this is the description given in the audio. That is not what the patient or the doctor is saying. Okay, who has been experiencing blurred vision, but what is the patient describing it? Describes his vision as. So here you have to write the word the patient is using, and in part A it's always the patient language that you have to give more attention to. So you are hearing the conversation, that is a consultation between a doctor and a patient. So there you should always listen to what the patient is saying, because you are completing the notes, a health professional's note. So this health professionals is writing what the patient is saying. He's writing down, okay, he has cold, he has fever. He's writing down that. So you have to listen to what the patient is saying. So you are helping the health professional complete the note. So always give attention to what the health professional is saying. And blurred vision is something that you heard before the audio was even played. That was given as an instruction, an introduction for the whole audio. The consultation hadn't started yet. That is why blurred is the wrong answer. So Anu Victor, make the correction. It is not blurred vision. It is, let's see. So it is not blurred vision anyways, but what is it? What is the patient describing it? Okay. So, hi Aiden, doctor is saying, hi Aiden, I'm Dr. 𝐎𝐄𝐓. Could you start by telling me about what's been going on with your vision? So doctor is asking Aiden about his vision. Now Aiden will tell you about his vision, and that word he is using while describing his vision is what you have to write for question number 1. Hope it's clear. Okay, hope it's clear. Yes, Mary George Alex has said it's fuzzy. Abhirajan has said it's fuzzy. Let's see if that is the answer. Sure. So Aiden is saying sure. Well, I guess it must have started a while ago, but I did not really notice it properly until 2 weeks ago. I was working in my garden and I noticed I was having a hard time reading the instructions on the gardening products that I just bought. I normally stick to the one I have been using for years, but I thought it would be nice to try something different. Anyways, it kind of felt like everything was fuzzy around the edges. Yes, so he's describing things. It has started a while ago, but I didn't really notice it until 2 weeks ago. When I was in the garden, I noticed that I had a hard time reading the instructions on the gardening products that I had just bought. So usually he uses the same product, but then the one that he's been using for years, but this time he thought he would try something different. So it felt everything felt like fuzzy around the edges. So his vision was fuzzy. Everything felt like fuzzy around the edges. So edge was like fuzzy. It was not clear. All right. So fuzzy around the edges. I just couldn't see the letters clearly. So those who wrote fuzzy, Monica Vegas, Monica Vegas and a few others who wrote fuzzy as the answer is correct. Okay, that is the correct answer. Mary, George, Alex, Abhirajan, yes, you all wrote fuzzy and that is the correct answer. All right, now let's move on to the next question. Next question: has difficulty reading printing letters, needs increasingly to read in evenings. Okay, so what is the key word? Yes, Yogeshwari S is saying more light. Monica is saying, I can't. Okay, 1 second. Okay, Monica is saying more light. Yogeshwari S is saying more light. Victor, what did you say? Okay, Abhirajan is saying more light. Yes, we'll see. So what is the key word? Increasingly to read in evenings. Okay, let's look at it. I just couldn't see the letters clearly. After talking to my daughter, she mentioned that I've been using increasingly more light. Increasingly, the same word is used. More light to read at night and even pulling things closer to me to read. So I'm taking more time. More light to read at night. That means evenings. Even pulling things closer to me to read. Okay. So, yes, Anisha Ryaroth is saying it's more light. Yes, you're right. Needs increasingly more light to read in the evenings. All right, all the keywords can be seen there. That is the answer. Now, third question. So, the next sentence is found he was having to hold object closer to see. So, that we read. That part we read. Purchased glasses from. Okay. Often finds that his eyes, even when wearing glasses. So here that he apostrophe s is he is. Often finds that he is his eyes, even when wearing glasses. Okay, so two questions we'll look at once. Purchased glasses. So Abhirajan is saying it's the pharmacy, and Monica Vegas is also saying it's pharmacy. So let's see. I hadn't even noticed. So I went out and got some of those glasses they sell at the pharmacy. So got glasses from pharmacy. Yogeshwari S is also saying pharmacy. That is a simple answer. Then next question was often finds that he is dash his eyes even when wearing glasses. So even wearing glasses, he is his eyes. These are the keywords. Let's see. And they helped, but my doctor said that it would be better if I came to see an eye doctor. Well, they made things less blurred anyway. I guess my vision's still not crystal clear or anything when I use the glasses, but I wasn't really expecting that. I still noticed that. So he is saying he felt like things were less blurred. Okay, but his vision is not crystal clear or anything when he uses the glasses. So I wasn't really expecting that. I still noticed that I'm squinting to see things. All right, he's squinting to see things. So Yogeshwari S has said squinting. That is correct. He's squinting his eyes while wearing glasses. I still notice means he's wearing glasses now. He bought glasses from the pharmacy, so things are kind of blurred now. Okay, it is less blurred. The vision is not crystal clear when he uses the glasses, but he wasn't expecting that. He still notices that he is squinting to see things. All right, so even with the glasses here, wearing glasses, that keyword is not directly given, but that part is said before that, and then they are mentioning he's squinting. They're using the word still. So these kind of questions sometimes become confusing to students because you hear I'm squinting my eyes, but we don't have the keyword. That is while wearing glasses, but that is already said. Okay, so you have to, like he's wearing the glasses, that means still after, even after wearing the glasses, he's squinting his eyes to see things. All right. It's mostly when I'm trying to read something close up, like small writing. We'll stop there. Look at the fifth question. Look at the fifth question. So Abhirajan, your answer is correct. Okay, those of you, Monica Vegas, your answer is correct. Okay, very good. Others, you can also type in your answers. Okay, and now when struggling to see can also experience. So keywords struggling to see, experience. Okay, let's see. I still notice that I'm squinting to see things. It's mostly when I'm trying to read something close up, like small writing. I'm better when things are at a distance. I don't know if it's related, but I've also noticed a pretty persistent headache. So even if you write persistent headache, that answer is correct. So Monica Vegas, that answer is correct. Then Yogeshwari S, Jimmy Joseph, your answers are all correct. Headache. I'm experiencing headache. So what was the keywords? Struggling to see, experience. When struggling to see, experience what? Headache. I've also noticed I have pretty persistent headache. All right. Now look at the sixth question. Aiden treats pain with fast acting. What is this fast acting? Treats pain, fast acting. Keywords. Okay, let's look for that. I guess it's kind of that at the sides of my head. I suppose it comes and goes, but it's definitely worse when I'm having trouble seeing something. When it gets really bad, I just take a fast acting. The same word is given, so no trouble at all. Fast acting, ibuprofen. So, treats pain, and fast acting. Those are the keywords. So fast acting, ibuprofen, and that tends to sort it out. So that means treat the pain. All right. Ibuprofen is the answer. Yes, fifth question, the answer is headache. Very good, Priya Raju, Yogeshwari, Jumi, and everybody. So write the answer for the sixth question also. It is ibuprofen. If you have any problem with the spelling, you can look at it. This is the spelling of ibuprofen. Okay, so now let's look at the next question. That is our seventh question. So this is the background details. Background is wore glasses as a child. So when he was a child, he wore glasses. Brother also wear glasses, possibly dash. Okay. So brother wore glasses, possibly. Those are the two keywords. Okay, let's see. Doctor is asking. Yogeshwari, Anu Victor is saying short sight. Very good, guys. Keep going. Ever had any vision problems before? Aiden is saying, when I was little, at some point in elementary school, I think I had glasses. Okay. Wore glasses as a child. That information is given. But I'm sure I broke them. And we just never got around to having them replaced. My brother has glasses that he's been wearing for years. Okay. My brother wears glasses. Okay. Possibly. I don't really know a whole lot about what's wrong with his eyes. Maybe he is short-sighted. So here they have given the word possibly. So always when you see the word possibly, in the audio you will see a word maybe or might be. Okay, so here that's what they've given. Maybe he is short-sighted. Very good. All of you have actually given the right answer. Priya Raju Arun, Monica Vegas, Dhanya Radhakrishnan, Jumi Joseph. You've all said it is short-sighted or short sight. Okay, short sight could also be correct, rather possibly short sight or short-sighted is the right answer. Okay, these answers are all correct. Very good, very good. Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you. So he is short-sighted. He may be short-sighted. Very good. So next, let us look at the eighth question. Okay, what is the eighth question? What does eighth question have to tell us? Recently suffered from dash. So recently suffered. Okay, this is medical history. Next, treated with antibiotics. Okay, let's see. Oh, but that reminds me, my brother thought I should mention a couple of months or so ago, I was pretty ill. I was suffering from sinusitis. Recently suffered from. So a couple of months ago, I was suffering from sinusitis. And anyway, I left it pretty late to go and see the doctor about it. I kind of thought that it would just sort itself out. Anyway, it lingered. That means it remained, it stayed for a while. So when I told my doctor, he gave me some antibiotics, treated with antibiotics, and it cleared up pretty quickly after that. So Yogeshwari S is saying sinusitis, Priya Rajvarun is saying sinusitis, Anisha Rayaroth is saying sinusitis. Very good, guys. Good job. I totally appreciate that. Okay, now let's look at the ninth question. What is the ninth question? Still experiencing symptoms of. Symptoms of what? Okay, let's see. Still experiencing symptoms. Okay, that is the keyword. Well, for the most part, although I still feel like I have cold. Well, for the most part, although I still feel like I have cold. Still experiencing symptoms of. Symptoms of what? Cold. Okay, cold. C-O-L-D, cold. That is the answer. Okay, now let's read the 10th question. Cold. Yes, Priya Raju Arun, that is correct. Cold. Look at the 10th question. Lost excess weight following a dash describes this fake wake-up call. So wake-up call is a keyword. Lost weight. lost weight, wake-up call. These are keywords. Okay, let's see. Other than that, I've been in really good health for the last few years. I take my health really seriously. I'm not sure if the doctor told you, but I used to be quite overweight. Yes, that is a keyword is coming. Lost weight. I lost it all after a bit of a wake-up call. Yes, wake-up call. Lost weight after wake-up call. Some years back, I had what you guys call a myocardial infarction. There is a slight chance that it might sound like myocardial infection. All right, infarction and infection. So there is a slight difference. What you have to do is, if you're still confused and if you're finding it hard to distinguish between these two words, just go and listen to this part again and again. Okay, the same live will be uploaded on YouTube as well. So there you have the option of reducing the playback speed. So go to this part where we're playing the audio and reduce the playback speed. Listen to that part again and again and understand the pronunciation of infection. So even if you hear it really quick, you will still be able to answer it. So that is myocardial infarction. So myocardial infarction. How many of you got it right? Myocardial infarction. So myocardial might be correct for all of you. Infarction might be having some mistakes. If it is minor spelling mistake in a way that it does not affect the meaning of the word or it does not change the whole word, you may still get marks. Okay? Yes. So by that we're done with the 10th question. Let's look at the 11th question. Next steps. What do they have to do next? Isn't willing to wear dash. Isn't willing. So it is easy for us to anticipate. It would be either glasses or lens or something like that. Okay. Let's see. What isn't he willing to wear? 9th one, cold. Correct. Jimmy Joseph. 11th one, contact lenses. Let's see. All right. It was pretty scary and I was quite overweight at the time and really stressed about my job. Since then, I've made a real effort to look after myself properly. So doctor, I'm glad to hear it. So in terms of your blurred vision, what do you think might work for you? That is where they're talking about next steps, the heading. All right, not willing to wear. Okay. Well, I don't particularly like the idea of wearing glasses all the time. So we might think glasses are the answer. Okay, I don't particularly like the idea of wearing glasses all the time. So here they're saying he doesn't like the idea of wearing glasses all the time. So, but if you think that is the answer, just write down glasses there and keep listening to the audio. Okay, but touching my eyes freaks me out. So contact lenses are definitely not an option. He particularly does not like wearing glasses, but touching my eyes freaks me out. So contact lenses are definitely not an option. So which one will be the answer? Contact lenses. So those of you who wrote glasses, you could be right if you didn't have a statement like this. So first, even if you write like that, cut it off and write contact lenses, because he's saying definitely not that. All right, definitely not an option. Okay, now let's look at the 12th question. Let's look at the 12th question. 12th question is must be given dash. Must be given dash. Never had one. Must be given dash. Never had one. So must be given, that is your keyword. Never had one. Okay, must be given, never had one. Keywords. Okay, let's look at it. Guess the answer or write the answer that you taught. I guess the best thing might be to just have lenses that I wear all the time, so I don't keep forgetting to put them on when I'm out somewhere, not at home. I've actually never had one. Never had an eye test. So I should probably schedule one of those as the next step. So eye test. Eye test is the answer for 12th question. Here in this material, if you look at it, what you can see is the answers are very simple. The spelling is easy. There is no confusing word. So everything's pretty good. Doctor is saying, I think that sounds reasonable. Let's do some tests to check out your eyes and go from there. Okay, so now those are the answers. I am showing you the question paper with the answers on it. So like I told you, that is a mistake. You hear an obstetrician, that is not obstetrician. This is ophthalmologist. Okay, a new patient called Aiden Fitzpatrick. Question number 1 describes his vision as fuzzy. Fuzzy. 11th one is contact lenses. Very good, Jimmy. 2 is more light. Needs increasingly more light to read in evenings. 3rd one is pharmacy. Purchased glasses from pharmacy. 4th is squinting. I'm showing this so that you can write the spelling as well. Often finds that he is squinting his eyes even when wearing glasses. So squinting is the answer for the 4th question. When struggling to see, can also experience headache. All right, headache. Then 6th one, Aiden treats pain with ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is the answer for 6th question. Then 7th one, brother also wear glasses, possibly short-sighted. It is a hyphenated word, but even if you don't write a hyphen, you will still get marks. But that's not the case with the word that does not need hyphen. When a word does not need hyphen, when you put a hyphen, you lose your marks. All right, in this case, with or without hyphen, you'll still get marks. 8th one, sinusitis. It's all S. If you're confused with the spelling of sinusitis, just remember it's all S. Sinusitis is all S. Then question number 9, still experiencing symptoms of cold. Then 10th one, myocardial infarction. Lost excess weight following a myocardial infarction. Describes this wake-up call. Next steps, isn't willing to wear contact lenses. 12th one, must be given eye test. Never had. So I've shown all the answers on the question paper for you so that you will have an idea about it. Okay, I hope you got all the answers. If you have any questions related to this, you can ask me, and you have the whole script available here. You can refer it for some words you're confused about, or some words that you did not understand, or that you did not have an idea about. Okay, so this will always be available on our Facebook page. You can watch it whenever you have some doubts or whenever you need a practice. So after a few days, you might have actually forgotten these things. So if you want, you can come back to this video and practice these things again, just to give yourself a quick revision. Yes, I hope it was helpful. We will see in the next live, which will be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Until then, bye-bye, good night, and take care.